On BeeTv Major News Bulletin tonight, reaching you live from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria.
Before we know it, at about 5 minutes time, we see explosions, fire everywhere, so everybody really run. As we talk now, we recover about 7 dead bodies this morning, then 15 to hospital. But now 7 don't die. The vehicles when they burn down, the cars 10, then the trailers 7.
Several persons reportedly lost their lives on Sunday as petroleum tanker explodes in bad spots at Koko Junction of Delta State as roads conditions continue to worsen.
Confirm your appointments, which will be followed by your letters as Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Edo State, effective today, October 2nd, 2023.
Ahead of Edo 2024 governorship election,
Confirm your appointments.
Senior Special Assistant and Special Assistants charges them to be bearer of truths.
This academy attracts the most ambitious amongst us to train them and reintegrate them into society. Year after year, we reaffirm that sound education is the ultimate security strategy, and our resilient armed forces are proof of this.
President Bola Tinubu vows to crush terrorism, poverty in Nigeria as Nigerian Defense Academy Kaduna holds a passing out parade for new graduates. Plus, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) secures arrest warrant for former Petroleum Minister Desiani Alisi Madueke, and of course begins extradition process. A very good evening to you. Thank you so very much for joining me on BeeTv Major News Bulletin, reaching you from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. My name is Best Orator. We'll begin now from Abuja as President Bola Tinubu has said his administration's commitment to eliminating poverty, terrorism, and all forms of criminality in Nigeria. Already, the Nigerian leader, who is also chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, said his administration is currently implementing programs and policies that would empower Nigerians to combat the challenges of poverty, criminality, and terrorism. The report.
The president, in the course of his address, highlighted the promises he has made to Nigerians on May 29 while being inaugurated, stating his resolve to revamp the economy and ensure the security of lives and property.
I made important promises about how I will govern this nation. Among those promises were pledges to reshape and modernize our economy and to secure the lives, liberty, and property of the people.
President Tinubu also reassured Nigerians that he understands the hardship that the removal of fuel subsidy has subjected them to and the economic realities that they face.
I have a heart that feels and eyes that see. I wish to explain to you why we must endure this trying moment.
On the efforts being made by government to drive cross-sector reforms, the president stated that while the pains associated with the process may cause discomfort, the country needs to stay strong in order to reap the benefits of the sacrifices they are currently making.
There is no joy in seeing the people of this nation shoulder burdens that should have been shared years ago. I wish today's difficulties did not exist, but we must endure if we have to reach the good side of our future.
following agitations by the organized labor, the Nigerian Labour Congress and its affiliate, the Trade Union Congress, have threatened to embark on a nationwide indefinite strike beginning Tuesday, October the 3rd. However, President Tinubu announced a proposition that he hopes would pacify Nigerian workers and address issues of warfare.
We have embarked on a several sector reform to stabilize the economy, direct physical and monetary policy to fight inflation, encourage production, ensure the security of lives and property, and lend more support to the poor and the vulnerable.
Tinubu added that to ensure better grassroots development, federal government has set up an infrastructure support fund for states to invest in critical areas, noting that states have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices. Rebecca Goffey, reporting for BeeTv News.
That was actually President Bola Tinubu's Sunday's address to Nigerians on the occasion of the country's 64th independence anniversary. The president actually spoke for 15 minutes in a live television broadcast where he stated measures taken in a bid to restore economic and put it on the path of sustainable growth. And now to the NDA report now. President Bola Tinubu has restated his administration's commitment to eliminating poverty, terrorism, and all forms of criminality in Nigeria. President Tinubu, who is also chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, said his administration is currently implementing programs and policies that would empower Nigerians to combat the challenges of poverty, criminality, and terrorism. President Tinubu, who was represented at the ceremony by Vice President Kashim Shettima, gave the hint during the passing out parade of cadets of the 70 regular corps, Direct Short Service Corps 27 Army, and Direct Short Service Corps 31 Air Force of the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna, reading the president's address titled "The Heroes of Nigeria's Path to Prosperity and Security" at the passing out parade. Vice President Kashim Shettima said, "Every day, every minute, Nigerians are reminded of the consequences of economic and social disintegration in the society." He said the knowledge of this gave rise about the formation of bilateral and multilateral alliances to create opportunities for Nigerians. He said the federal government is implementing programs and policies to empower citizens to combat the challenges of poverty, criminality, and terrorism.
Since 1964, this institution has molded the character, physique, and intellect of valiant officers and academic specialists beyond the shores of this country. Year after year, this academy attracts the most ambitious amongst us to train them and reintegrate them into society. Year after year, we reaffirm that sound education is the ultimate security strategy, and our resilient armed forces are proof of this. This prized legacy, thankfully, is one to which we are not only the testifiers. There is an international consensus on the quality of this academy.
He said as part of moves to deal decisively with criminal elements, President Tinubu noted that his government has embarked on a new era in the country's national defense and security strategy, which would be driven by a resolute commitment to confront the substantial threats and challenges that confront the people within the West African sub-region. President Tinubu said he has directed all heads of defense and security institutions to unite in their efforts to protect the nation's integrity and well-being, and as chairman of the ECOWAS, he is diligently working to enhance the regional conflict management and development mechanism to forge a path towards greater peace, stability, and progress across West Africa and beyond.
These graduating cadets, like those before them, are stepping into a world proud with threats, a world that demands unique skill sets to conquer the adversaries of the state. They are going to find themselves in a dynamic landscape, one marked by combat and regimental realities vastly different from those encountered by their predecessors. Our hope is why we gather here today. Our hope is this spectacular proof that they have received superior training that equips them with a distinct advantage to safeguard the nation's security and advance our collective future.
Addressing the graduating cadets, President Tinubu pointed out that like those before them, they were stepping into a world fraught with threats, a world that demands unique skill sets to conquer the adversaries of the state. The president further asked the authorities of the NDA to assess the support it requires to invest in scientific research and technological innovations, as well as develop prototypes and concepts that align with local content policies of the federal government.
And that I will is in duty bound serve for the period of my engagement. So help me God.
The personal parade was well attended by eminent dignitaries, including Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senate Chief Whip Senator Ali Udome, Governors Umba Sani of Kaduna State and Kafas Agbu of Taraba State, Deputy Governor of Borno State Umar Kadafu, Minister of Defense Alhaji Abubakar Badaru, and Minister of State for Defense Alhaji Bello Matawali. Others are Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Lagbaja, Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, and Commander Nigerian Academy Defense Major General John Ochai, amongst others. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News. Moving on, it was a black Sunday morning for motorists plying the Benin Sapler Road by Cocoa Junction when a truck conveying fuel fell on the road and spilled its content, which led to the death of some persons. Desire Edouaraye reports that over 10 vehicles and goods were burned. Desire's report is presented from our studios. Burnt vehicles, motorcycles, and dead bodies of victims of the fire accident were at the scene when BeeTv News crew arrived to Cocoa Community Junction in Delta State. At the time of visit, wreckage of 8 burnt vehicles and over 5 trucks littered the scene. According to some motorists, the accident occurred between 9 p.m. on Saturday and 3 a.m. on Sunday. They say the tanker drove into a very bad spot on the road a few days ago, and the owners made an attempt to pull the truck out when it fell, spilling the content on the road.
As the truck fall, as here na swamp, as you see all these places now na swamp. So the water and the fuel come they flow together, they come. It never reach about 30 minutes. The community boys, youths, they come with their keg. So after they begin siphon the fuel, at a point we the drivers we gang up, tell them say, that one way that they park, it don't do, make them go. I say now their community, we don't need to tell them how to live for their community, we not get rights. So now their rights, way then they do so. It never reached 30 minutes before we hear boom, fire, real fire, now that time it come. As we just hear that shoot of the fire run immediately to where the tanker dey. So that one too in glance, in shoot. So from then most people, they run to safety. Some run enter this side, some run go this side. So even run enter this bush. Me, I can't follow this swamp way they here. Run, go the hill side, go take safety. Before I come, my motor don't burn down beyond recognition.
The motorbike to the vehicle. They try to stop the community guys when they fetch the fuel again. So they can't try to fight them. Say they not be the one instruct them on what they want to do with their land. Along the line, they beat one of the outside guys, so they call revenge. So instead of them to say they'll be allowed to fetch this fuel, they want to put fire on that, and everybody burn down and properties. It's not a play. One of them going to go down to that side. Before we know it, at about 5 minutes time, we see explosions, fire everywhere. So everybody really run. As we talk now, we recover about 7 dead bodies this morning, then 15 to hospital. But now 7 don't die.
The motorist said their burnt vehicle was their only source of livelihood and pleaded for support.
Now our source of livelihood with this. If there is any way we can fit do palliative, anyhow it be, nothing too small. You understand? This one where we they get our daily bread, so that more no enter street. So
the Benin Sapler Road, which has been a nightmare to motorists and commuters, has caused a lot of road accidents, which has claimed several lives. Meanwhile, men and equipment have been mobilized to fix the bad road, but it could not be ascertained who is responsible for the palliative work. Best Orator, reporting for BeeTv News. Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki has commiserated with the families of the victims of the petrol tanker explosion at Cocoa Junction in Delta State. In a statement, the governor expressed sadness over the unfortunate incident, noting that the loss of lives was regrettable. He said the state government was saddened by the news of the petrol tanker explosion in Cocoa Junction in Delta State. He commiserated with the government and people of Delta State over the tragic incident and sympathized with the families of the victims. Obaseki urged Nigerians to desist from attempting to scoop petrol whenever there is an accident involving tankers, saying it is pertinent to consider safety first and report to appropriate authorities in such instances. Reactions have started to trace the road accident along the Benin-Sapele Road by Cocoa Junction, which claimed several lives, burnt vehicles, and destroyed property. Respondents who spoke with BeeTv News' Gloria Afajagbe described the accident as a depiction of poor road infrastructure, overall prevalence of decay, and poor governance in the country.
No fewer than 20 people, according to eyewitnesses, were said to have lost their lives on Sunday after a fuel tanker exploded at Cocoa Junction along Warri-Benin Highway in Warri North local government area of Delta State. Reacting to the unfortunate incident, some respondents said the accident is a reflection of the terrible condition of Nigeria's highways and road network, which the federal government have failed to fix over time. They said most of the federal government roads in most states have expired or exceeded their lifespan, which calls for concern and urgent remedial action.
It is an error for them to wait for people to die before they do something. Real government will cater for their people. Why would they wait until people die? Now the people have died and they will go and repair the road. It's not normal.
The road were not good. I made the tanker some assault. When the busy everywhere come burn to people come burn to ashes. Now federal government support to repair road. Good road. If good road they motor not go for.
It must have been a problem for a long time. People must have complained and talked about it. They must have protested, quarreled, or just gone out of their way to take the laws into their hands before our government responds. You know, that is the kind of government that we run.
Other respondents emphasized on road infrastructure being a crucial contribution to economic development and growth, saying it is the right of every citizen to have access to good roads, education, and health services. They called on governments at all levels to give urgent priority to regular road maintenance, upgrading of existing roads, and construction of good ones to prevent such road accidents from reoccurring.
So they play politics with a whole lot of things until they begin to jettison those political ideas. Let them begin to think as Nigerians so that we can make this country a better place.
If the president will come to the aid of the people to look at federal road, these things are citizens' rights. It's the right of the citizen. Good road, when they campaign, they talk about.
All the respondents were of the opinion that both state and federal governments must immediately embark on road reconstruction and rehabilitation to save lives and properties on the highways. Gloria Afajagbe, reporting for BeeTv News.
Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki has inaugurated senior special assistants and special assistants with a charge to be the bearer of truth for the party as it marched towards the 2024 governorship election in Edo State. BeeTv News' Naomi Omasho has details.
Inaugurating the SSA and SA from Ikpoba Oka, Oredo, Ovia Southwest, Ovia Northeast, and Orionwa local government area of Edo South Senatorial District, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, said the other two local government areas are fine-tuning to agree on credible members of the party to be appointed. Obaseki, who spoke to the newly appointed SSA and SS party leaders and members, said his administration worked with party leaders who agreed on from the party members before they were appointed as its government, only focused on party members present at the local government. The governor inaugurated 34 SSA and 152 SAs from 5 local government areas of Edo State. The breakdown shows that 10 SSA, 46 SA are from Ikpoba Oka, while 9 SSA, 36 SA are from Oredo. Ovia Southwest has 5 SSA and 20 SAs. Ovia Northeast has 5 SSA, 26 SA, and Orionwo local government area has 5 SSAs and 24 SA.
Confirm your appointments, which will be followed by your letters as Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Edo State, effective today, October 2nd, 2023.
Governor Obaseki said there is appointees, and as such, they are expected to work for him and not the local government. He said their duty is to be on the ground to communicate to the people on what the government is doing across the state. Governor Obaseki said he is passionate about the poorest of the poor in the state, and the appointees have the duty to inform him of those who cannot feed and eat in their various local governments to enable the government send palliative to them.
We are trying to foster unity in our party. We are trying to ensure that there's inclusiveness and everybody is given an opportunity to participate. Those local governments where we have not accepted their lists are local governments where they're still work in progress, because we're insisting that the leaders must agree and confirm that the people who have been nominated are people who are faithful to the party, people who have worked for the party, and people who have the capacity to work for the governor.
On his part, Edo State Chairman of PDP, Dr. Anthony Aziegbemi, who congratulated the new appointees, said he never envied them because their work is cut out for them and have more work to do as they approach the governorship election next year.
On behalf of the party, let me congratulate you that out of the multitude of people in your local governments, the leaders in your LGA deemed it fit that you are the ones that they will give these appointments to. And you will attest to the fact that there was no phone call from anybody from Benin to say, put this person or put this person. These names, Your Excellency, I can guarantee you, are names that were generated from the different wards in these five local governments that you just inaugurated.
Responding on behalf of SSA and SA, Honorable Loben Imariagbe, SSA from Oredo local government, thanked the governor for the appointee as he pledged loyalty, commitment, and focus to help the governor finish well.
We promise to be loyal, committed, and focused as we give you 100% support to your administration. Finish strong, well, and leave a legacy for prosperity.
Other guests at the inauguration ceremony includes Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Blessing Aigbebaku, Secretary to Edo State Government, Osaradion Ogie, Chief of Staff to Edo State Governor, Honorable Osaigbovo Iyoha, Civil Commissioners, Local Government Chairmen, party leaders across the 18 local government areas, amongst others. Naomi Omasho, reporting for BeeTv News.
One of Africa's most prominent politicians and our former president of Global Oil Cartel, PEG, the first female to hold the position, Desiani Alison Madueke, was today in London court to answer for corrupt charges. This follows years of investigation by Britain's National Crime Agency and Nigeria's Anti-Graft Commission, the EFCC. A Nigerian court has already recovered millions of dollars from bank accounts. Alison Madueke, held in Nigeria in both the EFCC and the U.S. Department of Justice, have seized properties worth already $100 million allegedly purchased with the proceeds of corruption. Evidence in the case is expected to shed further light on alleged corrupt practice endemic to the Nigerian oil industry over a period of 5 years. And the cause of this case, Britain's National Crime Agency alleges Alison Madueke accepted bribe during her time as Minister of Petroleum Resources in exchange for awarding multi-million naira contracts. In the same vein, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured an arrest warrant for former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Desiani Alison Madueke. The anti-graft agency has also initiated extradition proceedings to bring the former minister back to Nigeria. Dele Oyewale, EFCC acting spokesman, confirmed the development to newsmen. Following alleged bribery allegations, Alison Madueke was arraigned today at the Westminster Court in London, United Kingdom. Although the charges preferred against her at the London court are different from the 13-count charges bordering on money laundering the EFCC has raised against her. The money laundering charges, for which Madueke is answerable to the EFCC over jurisdiction in Dubai, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and Nigeria. To bring the former minister to trial in Nigeria, an arrest warrant has been obtained and extradition proceedings have been initiated. The commission is on course on her trial, saying she will soon have her day in Nigeria's courts. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu has led some dignitaries, including Vice President Kashim Shettima, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, to celebrate Nigeria's 63rd Independence Day anniversary at the forecourt of the State House Presidential Villa, Abuja. Also present were members of the diplomatic community who witnessed the ceremony, characterized by colorful military parade. BeeTv News, Mercy Adams has details.
Also in attendance were the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajamila, National Chairman of the Running All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduji, Minister Service Chief, and the Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, among others. On arrival, President Tinubu was received by members of his cabinet, service chiefs, Inspector General of Police, and the commander of the Elite Parade, LT, Colonel M.A. Yusuf, who thereafter gave President Tinubu a national salute to signify the essence of the ceremony, which is expected to be his first since he assumed office in May 2023.
Very distinctly delivered there by the correct commander, Lieutenant Colonel M.A. Yusuf, and have the presidential given the permission to carry on with the rest of the parade. Happy viewing, Your Excellencies.
The parade formation was a combined guard of honor mounted by the officers and men of the Guard Brigade, complemented by a detachment each drawn from the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, as well as the Nigerian Police, respectively. Reiterated that the renewed hope agenda of the present administration will transform Nigeria's economy.
Today, we showcase the unity of Nigeria, from the cultural groups to the military parade. Today, in the military parade, the people that defend us, that stand for us. We saw Igbos, we saw Hausas, we saw Yorubas amongst the military parade, all coming together as one.
What we are seeing now is a temporary, it's a transition pain, but we believe that is the only way that we can lay a solid foundation for the socio-economic development of country.
For one, for them to be patient. As we just started, we met a lot of things on the ground. So President and the Commander-in-Chief is doing everything possible to see that Nigeria will be a better country in the history of Nigeria.
So today, beyond the ceremonies, my take is that it calls for a moment of sober reflection. It's not really so much of gaining independence, not so much of marking the 63rd independence anniversary ceremony, but how much have we been able to achieve in the past 63 years after independence.
And on behalf of the French authorities, the French Republic, the French President of the Republic, His Excellency Emmanuel Macron, on behalf of my team at the embassy, on my own personal behalf, I wish all the best to His Excellency President Tinubu and to the people of Nigeria on this very important day.
Major highlights of the colorful event were a slow and quick march past the personnel of the various services, cutting of the Independence Day cake, and traditional dances by various troops depicting the national diversity, the cultural diversity of the Nigerian people.
This side, please. Let's all move. Put your hands together, please. Put your hands together. The other thing that there. Thank you.
The high point of the occasion was the release of the white pigeon by President Tinubu, a ritual that is performed every year to commemorate the Independence Day celebration that symbolizes peace. Mercy Adams reporting for BeeTv News.
Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki says his administration has begun reviewing the minimum wage of workers in Edo State, which is currently 40,000 naira and the highest in the country, with a view to increasing it as soon as the federal government revises the revenue allocation formula. Governor Obaseki stated this during a statewide broadcast to mark Nigeria's 63rd independence. BeeTv News, Rebecca Goffey has details.
Addressing the Edo people on the occasion of Nigeria's 63rd Independence Day, Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki said his administration will continue to ensure prompt and diligent payment of salaries and pensions, enhance the work environment, and sustain the use of technology to improve efficiency and ease the work process to ensure better service delivery to Edo people. He said in the light of the challenging structure of the Nigerian economy, Edo State government is doing its best to deliberately create the enabling environment for new businesses to thrive and to attract investment into Edo State.
In the light of the challenging structure of the Nigerian economy, we are doing our best to deliberately create the enabling environment for new businesses to thrive and to attract new investments into Edo State. You will recall that about 2 years ago, I had warned against the mismanagement of the nation's economy and its concomitant effect on the value of our currency. Refusal to heed the call has led us to this dire situation.
The governor said about 2 years ago he had warned against the mismanagement of the economy and its concomitant effect on the value of the country's currency, adding that the refusal to heed the call has led the country to their situations. He said before now he severally raised the alarm about the very poor state of federal roads in Edo State, which has led to severe pressure on Edo State's roads, which are now falling apart as most of them were not designed to handle the amount of tonnage they are now forced to carry. Obaseki said to pull the country from the brink of economic collapse, sincere and honest steps to stimulate economic growth must be taken.
To pull our country, Nigeria, from the brink of economic collapse, we must now begin to take sincere and honest steps to stimulate economic growth, so that our people can lead more fulfilling and happier lives. One way out of our current crisis is for the federal government to urgently consider devolving more authority and move more resources to states and local governments. For example, if the authority to manage federal roads and resources were devolved, the constituent units will be empowered to intervene in these federal roads that have failed across Edo State.
Governor Obaseki said one way that the current crisis in the country can be addressed is if the federal government urgently consider devolving authority and move more resources to the state and local governments. Rebecca Goffey reporting for BeeTv News.
The federal government on Sunday said the provisional wage increase announced by President Bola Tinubu for all low-income workers for 6 months would cut across all Treasury-paid workers. The Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, revealed this to State House correspondents at the end of a 4-day marathon emergency meeting with the leaders of organized labor. The compromise was reached to avert the proposed indefinite nationwide strike declared by the organized labor. Following the development, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress were expected to suspend their planned strike, slated to commence on Tuesday after discussing the resolution with their state chapters and affiliations. The meeting came as after the president in his Independence Day broadcast announced the approval of a 25,000 naira provisional wage increase for certain category of federal workers for the next 6 months. Briefing journalists on the meeting outcome, the chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, said there was a lot of reaction about the issue of low-income workers only falling into the category of the provisional wage increase, and they communicated with the president, and he quickly agreed that all categories of workers will be given the wage bill, saying there is nothing like low income, medium income, or high income. He expressed optimism that the labor union would backtrack on their planned strike. It was guarded that the labor leaders rejected Tinubu's 25,000 naira provision wage increment for low-grade workers. They also rejected the government's proposed 6-month period the provisional increase covers, and insisted that it should run until a new minimum wage is approved. Unconfirmed sources at the meeting said these were some of the issues that were discussed. However, it has now been gathered that the federal government has raised the wage from 25,000 naira to 35,000 naira. Some civil servants and residents in Benin have faulted the proposed payment of 35,000 naira palliative by the federal government to federal workers over the next 6 months to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal, describing it as a wrong strategy. BeeTv News' Gloria Afajagbe brings the reports.
The average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month.
On October 1st, President Bola Tinubu announced the approval of 25,000 naira provisional allowance for junior federal workers over the next 6 months, which attracted reactions from Nigerians and has now been reviewed upwards to 35,000 naira, which is now across all board of federal workers. Reacting to the development, some civil servants and residents insisted that the federal government should have put in place a proper plan before getting rid of fuel subsidy. The respondents described the palliative measures by the federal government as a joke, saying that paying extra money to citizens or increasing salary will only postpone the sufferings of citizens for a short period. They said the federal government should revamp the refineries and resolve the value depletion of the naira to other foreign currencies, which has worsened the economic situation.
How much is 25,000 naira compared to the economic situation that they've plunged this country into? Nigeria is a blessed country. To be very frank, as you say, a lot of people would have wished they are Nigerians. According to the estimates of Africa riches, we are supposed to be happy that we are Nigerians, we are from Africa. But our leaders over time have looted this economy and they've plunged us into this unwanted situation.
The primary cause of our problem, they've not gone to it. That one is not the solution. It's just like trying to take the shortcut to our solution. It's not sustainable because in a no distant time, we're going to fall back to the same problem again.
I see it as a hawk. I don't think that thing is going to work. Because what are they going to use?
Other respondents said the additional 25,000 or 35,000 naira, as the case may be, for public servants was meaningless in a Nigerian economy with the rising inflation, increasing rates of unemployment and insecurity. They urged the federal government to remove taxes on salary, invest in food production, reduce custom levies on goods and services essential to citizens' well-being, and build social and critical infrastructure that will benefit every citizen.
I think what Mr. President should look into, first of all, is economy. Look for how to revamp the economy. Look for how Nigeria can go into production, whereby our GDP, gross domestic product, and we should have product that we even export out of the country in a way that
it has to be abandoned. Let the palliative, let the construct roads, help the less privileged. Those that want to start business, they don't have money, let them help them to start business. Those that want to go to school, let them help them, give them scholarships.
All the respondents were of the opinion that the federal government needs to implement a long-term approach to solving the high poverty and rising inflation in the country, rather than providing palliative measures. Gloria Afajagbe, reporting for BeeTv News.
Determined to support the education of the Edo child, the Anamero Foundation today flagged off the distribution of free 500,000 exercise notebooks for primary and secondary schools in the 18 local government areas of Edo State as part of the Student Support Program for 2023. BeeTv News' Naomi Omasho was there.
The arrival of the sponsor and the leading gubernatorial aspirant of the All Progressive Congress, who is also the member representing Asako West constituency, the Federal House of Representatives, Honorable Dekere Anamero, at the event stirred excitement and jubilation as guests, parents, and beneficiaries of the foundation gave him a warm reception. The event took place at the El Clasico Hotel, GRA, and was well attended as the chairman of the Anamero Foundation. Across the 18 local government area of Edo State were also in attendance. Speaking on the occasion, the chairman organizing committee of the Anamero Foundation Free Books Distribution 2023, Barrister Gentleman Amego, said that the sponsor, Honorable Sunday Dekere Anamero, also known as Danko, has a passion for education and thanked him for the job well done and for also extending the exercise to Edo Central and Edo South Senatorial District, and also pleaded with the local government chairman to ensure that those who need the writing materials will not be deprived of it, adding that students in the nook and crannies of the local government area should benefit from it.
On behalf of all the children of Edo State, I want to thank you. I want to plead with you fervently that you should be diligent in the distribution of these exercise books. One man can't do it. He cannot do it alone. I cannot do it. Sam cannot do it. Except all of us agree to actually to carry out the distribution. We are going to also set up another monitoring group that will ensure that these books get to our children.
While others thanked and praised him for the distribution of the books through his foundation to improve the educational sector in Edo State.
Thank God say everything where we come here called to we do are successful. And if he give us books, say may we give our children, may they go school.
Thank you very much for supporting the students of Edo State. We appreciate you, Lord. May the Lord give you long life and prosperity.
He has done a lot for Edo State students. I think he's somebody that has very high regard for education.
We are very hopeful with the way things are being planned that the books we get to the children.
Earlier, the sponsor, Honorable Sunday Dekere Anamero, said it gives him utmost joy in contributing to the education of students with the little God has blessed him with.
I've been giving primary schools and secondary school writing materials, notebooks, building classrooms, even constructing local roads. Just to bridge the gap between the government and those that are deprived. So the more I do this, I benefit or I gain eternal satisfaction. This is all that I do. God has so blessed me with such a life that I live.
The ceremony ended in a joyous note as women danced, hailed and prayed for God to bless Honorable Sunday Dekere Anamero. Naomi Omasho, reporting for BeeTv News.
Today being a public holiday to commemorate Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary, which was officially held yesterday, Nigerians have expressed their displeasure over their inability to celebrate the anniversary due to paucity of funds. BeeTv News' Gloria Afajago reports that government establishment and financial institutions were under lock due to the holiday.
The one-day public holiday declared by the federal government to celebrate Nigerians' Independence Day was observed this Monday as the State Civil Service Secretariat, financial institution, and other government institutions were closed. Residents have to make use of the automated machine gallery and other points of sales to make financial transactions owing to the closure of the banks. In an interview with BeeTv News, some residents lamented that the Independence holiday was nothing to celebrate due to the current economic hardship faced by Nigerians. They said Nigerians are not happy because the country has been facing different challenges without any positive change.
Public holidays are no longer the way we used to have it. In our secondary school days, you have Independence Day / this public holiday that we are supposed to observe today. Children are supposed to be celebrating. Everywhere is supposed to be in a good mood where you see people happy, cheering. Look at people's faces. People are, there is hardship.
My thought is a big disappointment. Disappointment in the sense that we are not enjoying the dividend of democracy. Those we put at the ends of affairs of this country, right from the first day of our independence, there has been a bunch of disappointment.
Before we used to celebrate the Nigerian and everybody used to enjoy it, but today it's no more so.
Well, I was able to withdraw money through POS. I was able to withdraw money and send some money through POS to some of my people.
Other respondents said they cannot wait to resume work, saying there was nothing significant about the holiday. They said all the country needs is prayer and faith, saying a better Nigerian ahead may be possible.
The public holiday today, being our independence, okay, well, it's good. You know, in Nigeria we are celebrating the gift of life, not really what we are getting from the government. So it's good, it's good. We believe that tomorrow will be better.
Foremost, we thank God that we are alive, and we thank God for He has kept us so far as an independent state.
And it's okay, for me especially it's okay. I'm enjoying the holiday.
With the public holiday ending today, work activities, government and private-owned institutions are expected to resume tomorrow. Gloria Afajagbe reporting for BeeTv News.
The Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has nullified the election of Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, declaring PDP's David Obugadu as the winner. The Governorship Election Tribunal has nullified the election of Abdullahi Sani. The three-man panel, led by Justice Ezekiel Ajayi, while delivering the judgment via Zoom, said Emmanuel Umbudagu of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is the winner of the election. Two of the justices agreed that the election was won by the PDP, while one judge dissented. Ezekiel maintained that the petitioner was able to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. Ex-governors Abdullahi Adamu and Tako Makura were among other political dignitaries present at the court. Recall that the Independent National Electoral Commission in Lafia declared Abdullahi Sule the winner of the governorship election in Nasarawa State in March. Edo State Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Kamri Philip Shuaibu, has visited the scene of the fatal accident involving a truck and multiple vehicles along the Abuja-Okbila Road in Isako East local government area of Edo State. 15 persons reportedly died in the accident, which occurred along the road leading to the Okbila market last week, Monday. BeeTv News' Mercy Adams has details.
The chairman of Isako East Local Government Council, Mrs. Benedicta Ato, accompanied the Edo State Deputy Governor, Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu, during the on-the-spot assessment of the scene. Some of the victims who were hospitalized were said to be responding to treatment. Mrs. Alimo Tumomo and David Samuel, were amongst others, were said to be at the market vicinity when the speeding truck crushed them.
I have been in touch with BEDC and also to help us with the bills and for those who were wounded in the accident, and also towards the burial expenses of those who lost their lives.
Comrade Philip Shaibu sympathized with the family of the victims while describing the accident as regrettable. He assured them of his personal support and that of the Edo State's intervention in ensuring the restoration of light in the area. He said the state government will do the needful and prevent a repeat of the sad incident in the future. He noted that the accident is a clarion call on truck drivers to be safety conscious whenever they need to drive to busy places like Opela.
We will not wait for just BEDC, but we will find a way to get them to do their work as government also plays role to make sure that light and life is back to this community. For those who met at the hospital, that God will grant them quick recovery, and we pray that the ones that have fracture, God will heal those wounds and make them come back to normalcy.
He, however, asked the security personnel in the area to be watchful and to avoid a repeat of such incidents. Mercy Adams, reporting for BeeTv News.
You're still watching the BeeTv Major News Bulletin reaching you from Benin City, Edo State. We go on a quick break now. Where we come back, more reports. Stay with us.
Original no be my mind, authentic no be my mind.
Original no be fake, quality paint EDS for quality paint you. Not EDS for quality paint you. Now EDS for emotion, super satin, super matte, gravitas paint today, texture paint today, and the high quality emotion. Now for EDS, you know go fed you. Now for EDS.
EDS Quality Paints, Kilometer 12, Benin Saple Road by Ogege Quarters, Benin City, or our branch office, 68 Saple Road, opposite former Edo State Library, now ShopRite.
Contact us today on 090-5320-6873. EDS Quality Paints, keeping your goals live.
Cremella ice cream, e dey yummy, e dey delicious, low sugar, low fat, and dem make am with natural ingredients. Na Cremella Foods Limited dey do the Cremella ice cream mix powder. E dey for different flavor and different size. E dey for cup, sachet, carton and sack, and e dey easy to use o. Just put water, mix am, turn am inside your ice cream machine. Your yummy ice cream don ready be that. We also get yogurt and ready to lick ice cream. Cremella Foods Limited dey supply to people wey dey resell like supermarket, hotel, event centers, and like that. And if you dey interested to sell Cremella ice cream products and you no get machine, Cremella ice cream go sama you freezer. For more tori, make you ring our number for 0810-737-7013 or 0704-427-8825. Visit www.cremella.com.ng. Our address na Kilometer 23, Benin Lagos Bypass, before Aho Community, Benin City. Cremella ice cream, so creamy, so delicious.
Jonasco Technical Enterprise dey for you where they build o. No let soap dey pepper your eye when you dey river. As Jonasco get better solid doors and stainless handrail dem. Bulletproof door e dey. Double pan door abi na one pan door you need or jabrata. Come see gate with different designs. Wrought iron, laser pan gate, iron gate, stainless gate, and no fit to call am finish. Jonasco Technical Company in an importer, exporter, sabi iron roofing matter, building of borehole, construction of tank, transportation and general contractor. Oya alele go JJ Owa Junction off Upper Mission Extension after Temboga Junction, Ute Quarters, Benin City. Call am for this number 080-6597-0286, 070-4717-7302, 090-2929-2819. For Jonasco Technical, we dey for you.
Thank you so very much for staying with us. And now to the foreign scene. No one is above the law, Donald Trump told in New York fraud case. Donald Trump had arrived at the New York court where he faces a civil lawsuit and a fine of $250 million for alleged fraud committed through the Trump Organization. The former president spoke outside the courtroom where he denied the allegations and called the lawsuit a politically motivated witch hunt. Judge Arthur found Trump liable for one fraud claim last week, and the same judge will now weigh up 6 more claims. New York prosecutor claimed Trump deceived banks and others by largely overvaluing his assets and exaggerating his net worth. For more on the global news segment, let's now join Rebecca Goffey, who is standing by.
Good evening and welcome to the Global News Update on BeeTv News. My name is Rebecca Goffey. A new malaria vaccine that can be produced on a massive scale has been recommended for use by the World Health Organization. The vaccine has been developed by the University of Oxford and is only the second malaria vaccine to be developed. There are already agreements in place to manufacture more than 100 million doses a year. It has taken more than a century of scientific effort to develop effective vaccines against malaria. The disease is caused by a complex parasite which is spread by the bite of blood-sucking mosquitoes. It is far more sophisticated than a virus as it hides from our immune system by constantly shape-shifting inside the human body. That makes it hard to build up immunity naturally by catching malaria and difficult to develop a vaccine against it. It is almost 2 years to the day since the first vaccine, called RTSS and developed by GSK, was backed by the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization said that the new R21 vaccine would be a vital additional tool as demand for malaria vaccines was far outstripping supply and available from the middle of next year. Each dose costs $2 to $4 and 4 doses is needed per person. In 2021, there were 247 million cases of malaria and 619 people died, most of them children under the age of 5. More than 95% of malaria is found in Africa. Meanwhile, the 2023 Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine has been jointly awarded to Hungarian-American biochemist Katalin Karikó and American physician-scientist Drew Weissman, who developed the technology that led to the mRNA COVID vaccines. Professor Katalin Karikó and Drew Weissman will share the prize. The technology was experimental before the pandemic, but has now been given to millions of people around the world to protect them against serious COVID-19. The same mRNA technology is now being researched for other diseases, including cancer. The Nobel Prize Committee said the laureates contributed to the unprecedented rate of vaccine development during one of the greatest threats to human health in modern times. Both were told they had won by telephone this morning and were said to be overwhelmed. Vaccines train the immune system to recognize and fight threats such as viruses and bacteria. In Europe, Ukraine is fighting Russia on many fronts, and just like the challenges faced on the battlefield, diplomatic achievements are equally hard-earned these days. Since Russia's invasion last year, Western support for Kyiv has remained largely strong, but cracks are beginning to form in the pro-Ukraine alliance. The United States is Ukraine's biggest supporter by a long way, providing more than $110 billion in military and economic support. Yet, over the weekend, Congress ditched plans to give Ukraine another $6 billion in a bitter internal battle over how to fund the federal government. Some Republicans think support for Ukraine should be curbed, while others think it should be provided only if President Biden spends more on U.S. border security. As Biden pledged a crucial $24 billion to Ukraine, shadows of uncertainty loom, with whispers of internal U.S. politics casting a veil of doubt over the promise. Finally, at least 10 people, including 3 children, were killed when the roof of a church collapsed in North Mexico. The collapse happened on Sunday afternoon local time as around 100 people were attending a baptism at Santa Cruz Church in Ciudad Madero. 60 people were injured, at least 2 of them seriously, and dozens were trapped underneath the rubble. Local residents rushed to the building with shovels and pickaxes to try to free those trapped. Search and rescue teams have since arrived at the scene, and 2 cranes are on site to remove the debris. Angel Vegas, the priest who was celebrating the baptisms when the collapse occurred, said that a day of celebration had turned into tragedy. Local media reported that one of the people trapped had managed to send a WhatsApp message which helped rescuers to find him. Among those who died was reportedly a toddler and a couple with their 8-year-old son, Mexican newspaper Melania reported. The bishop of the Diocese of Tampico, where the church is located, said he was praying for the victims. And that's it on the Global News segment for tonight. Thanks so very much for watching. I am Rebecca Guffey.
Thank you, Rebecca. And now to sports news. Former Manchester City and England striker Francis Lee has died at the age of 79. Lee scored 148 goals in 330 appearances during an 8-year spell at City, helping the club win double honors, including the old First Division title in 1968. Lee, who started his career at Bolton Wanderers, joined Derby County from City, helping the Rams win the second league title in 1975. He also earned 27 caps for England, scoring 10 goals. In his time at City, Lee also won an FA Cup, a League Cup, the European Cup Winners' Cup, and the Charity Shield twice. For more on sports news now, let's now join Uyi Lambert.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment on BeeTv News tonight. I am Uyi Lambert. Tottenham has condemned racist abuse directed at the defender Destiny Udogie on social media after Saturday's 2-1 home win against Liverpool. Liverpool forward Diogo Jota was sent off for a second bookable offence when he fouled Udogie. Tottenham said in a statement they were disgusted at the racist messages directed towards Destiny Udogie's social media following Saturday's game against Liverpool. The club said that they will work with the Premier League and, where possible, take action against any individual they are able to identify. Udogie joined Tottenham in August 2022 from Udinese and was loaned back to the Italian side for the 2022-2023 season. The 20-year-old has started all 7 Premier League games under manager Ange Postecoglou this term, helping Tottenham to enjoy an unbeaten start. The officiating of Saturday's match has drawn widespread criticism after VAR failed to overturn an incorrect decision to disallow a Luis Diaz goal for offside when the match was goalless. The San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles remain the only 2 unbeaten teams left in the NFL after the 4th Sunday of the season. Demi Hamlin returned to help the Buffalo Bills sink high-flying Miami, and the Dallas Cowboys had an emphatic answer to last week's shock loss. American country rock artist Taylor Swift was again watching as the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New York Jets. The Cincinnati Bengals are in big trouble after another bad defeat. The Denver Broncos and Minnesota Vikings got their first wins of the season to leave the Chicago Bears and Carolina Panthers as the league's only 2 winners side. There was lots of drama at the Asian Games soccer quarterfinal as North Korean players clashed with match officials after losing 2-1 against Japan on Sunday. North Korea captain Jang Kong-chul and teammate Kim Kyung-chok attacked referee Rostam Lotfulin after the final whistle. The North Koreans were earlier furious when Lotfulin awarded a penalty to Japan after their goalkeeper Kang Joo-chok charged out and clipped the feet of Japanese John Nishikawa with an outstretched arm. History shows that North Korea has a complex relationship with its former colonizer when it comes to soccer. Historical issues like Japanese imperial rule and North Korea's abduction of Japanese citizens, as well as geopolitical tensions, have sometimes loomed over large previous matchups between their national teams. When the two sides last found themselves in the same World Cup qualifying group in 2011, Japan prevailed 1-0 in Saitama, and the DPR won the reverse fixture in Pyongyang by the same scoreline 2 months later. And that is the beat from the sports segment tonight on BeeTv News. I am Uyi Lambert. Thanks for watching. Good evening.
Thank you, Uyi, and many apologies for those technical issues. And now to entertainment now, where Commander Bright Akpocha, popularly known as Basketman, has finally apologized to his colleague Ayo Deji Richard Maku, known as AY, following their 17-year-old feud. Recall that AY and Basketman have been in the news for lingering crisis going to 17 years now. But he has recently come out to apologize. For more on the entertainment segment, let's now join Mercy Adams.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the entertainment segment this evening. I am Mercy Adams. Seun Kuti stunts his stuff on the Paris Fashion Week runway. He graced the runway on the 7th of Paris Fashion Week, strutting in a piece called Stuntman on sets that featured a white and green bodysuit with a flag style strip with blue and green hose. The singer was modeling the contemporary French brand Casablanca on its day of victory, Printemps Earth 2024 runway show. Kuti is not the only Nigerian celebrity to grace a prestigious runway with his presence. Back in 2018, Wizkid walked the runway at the Deutsche and Gabbana show during Milan Men's Fashion Week, stunting a gold applique and embellished ensembles with a studded Balenciaga. Davido then became a global envoy for the German brand after making the formal announcement of his association with Puma last year, making Nigerians both at home and abroad very proud. He walked the runway with other big names like Usain Bolt and American model Winnie Harlow.
Been here before, but you've been very scared.
Lebiye emerges as the winner of Big Brother Naija All-Star Season 8. She was declared winner during the grand finale of the BB Naija All-Stars after 10 weeks in the house and going up against 23 other stars. This was her first time as a finalist after her time on the Level Up season, and she claimed the ultimate crown this time around, with 30.8% of the total votes for the night. The presentation is scheduled for Tuesday, October 3, 2023, as she's expected to go home with a grand prize of 120 million, an SUV, a weekend getaway for two with Travel Better, 1 year supply of Pepsi, Wow, Munchies, Hawaii, Lush, among other things. The last two came down to Ilebiye and Messi, making it the very first time in the history of Big Brother Naija that two women will emerge as the top two. Messi automatically became the first runner-up for the season after the announcement of Ilebiye as the winner. This was her second time as a finalist, following her win of the Pepper Dem season. Celebration of Nigeria's independence, Spotify is unveiling 3 new playlists that highlight Nigerians' musical diversity, ranging from Fuji to the golden eras of Afrobeats. These playlists provide a home for music that millions of Nigerians of all ages and persuasions have loved and listened to for decades. Fans of the early days of Afrobeats and everyone else will find nostalgia and great memories calling in the I Love My 2000s Afrobeats playlists. I Love My 2010s Afrobeats, featuring some of the songs that kicked off the Afrobeats to the world movement. This playlist is a mix of hits that you will definitely come back to.
And that is it on the entertainment segment this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Over now to Best Orator for the concluding part of the news. I am Mercy Adams. Good night.
Thank you, Mercy. And without entertainment reports, we call it a wrap on BeeTv Major News Bulletin tonight. We want to say thank you so very much for being a part of it. We'll hopefully be seeing you tomorrow, Jehovah's willing. My name is Best Orator, and from all of us, good night.